So we got some big rumors here and reveals of possible future product for the Transformers lines, both it be the EarthRise series and the movie Masterpiece stuff. Now, this stuff showed up on Weibo from China, from two users, from Jake Toys and Mega Decepticon, and these are individuals that in the past have leaked information that has been correct. Now, I'll double verify this information using my own kind of brand of logic when it comes to choice of toys, and I've talked about this many times in the past on the podcast of how you could really, in a lot of ways, figure out what will be coming in the future when it comes to Transformer product that's just kind of due. So, let's go through the list, let's break it down, and I'll go through all those little things here and there. Now, the ones that we already know, they say here an EarthRise Titan Scorponok, we know that's coming, and we know the EarthRise Deluxe Runamuck, we know that one's coming. So those two, let's put those aside. Those aren't big information. We'll go through the movie Masterpiece stuff. So we got a movie Masterpiece Starscream, based off of the 2007 design, and a movie Masterpiece Ratchet, again, based off of the 2007 design. Now, those aren't too shocking. I mean, even if they aren't real, there's something that sooner or later we're going to get to it. If you look at the general progression of movie Masterpiece toys, we're kind of getting through those 2007 characters, moving into probably with Revenge of the Fallen. And, I mean, it's not a surprise. Again, like, Studio Series does their scale, and then they create a little bit of a distance after the Studio Series, and then they do a movie Masterpiece for a more higher-end collectible and a different kind of buyer audience and price point. No surprise. Again, am I excited about those ones? Well, they're movie masterpieces of toys, of characters that I've owned, so many times over, especially Ratchet. I mean, I feel like so many versions of him. But, I mean, hey, if they do a really good job, all the better, and I know people will really like those, enjoy them. Movie Masterpiece toys seem to be received very well by people, especially in the Asian market, so all the best. Now, let's get to the good stuff and the interesting stuff. There's 3 reveals here that are really catching people's attention. We'll start with the 2 5 faces of darkness, so to speak. So we have EarthRise Voyager Quintesson. Now, this is a really interesting one just by the sole fact that if you don't count Alpha Q from Energon, well, he didn't come out in Superlink, but it was specifically in Energon too. If you don't count Alpha Q, which really only had like 3 faces, 4 if you count the closed face, the toy at least, in the show, that's a different story. It's something that this is the first time we've gotten really an official Quintesson toy. I mean, there's been some really good third-party stuff back in the day, but just never anything of an official capacity. So that's really cool if this is a reality. And it's a Voyager scale, which is slightly larger than what I would expect for something to scale with. I mean, if I imagine in my mind, if this looks exactly like we think it's going to look, that's going to be a fairly large figure. And transformation-wise, because, again, Alpha Quintesson, in a lot of ways, was one of the first mainline Transformer toys that didn't transform or have a transforming gimmick to it. Even Action Masters, hey, their accessories transformed. There was still some kind of gimmick with it. But Alpha Q and Energon really didn't have a transforming anything. He had a flipping face gimmick, which was no bigger than, Manny faces from He-Man or something. And that was it. So it'd be interesting to see how they're going to tackle a toy that, are they going to implicate a transformation gimmick? Are they going to give him an alt mode? Are they going to retcon some kind of history with the Quintessons to give him some kind of alt mode? And at a Voyager scale, and interesting how that'll scale with your toys. Very interesting to consider. Here's the other one, Quintessa, a deluxe scale. Now, Quintessa is both the planet where the Quintessons came from and also a character from the movie from the movie universe of Michael Bay in that of The Last Night. Now, Quintessa, I could believe that being a reality, and I'll say that for 2 reasons. Number one, Quintessa had a toy, just a little small figure. If you bought the Transformers The Last Night Infernicus box set, the Combiner team, it had a little Quintessa clear figure that came with it. Now, that figure, if you looked on the back of the box, actually, the name Quintessa was trademarked. So it showed that Hasbro wanted to trademark that name to potentially use it in the future for something else, and rightfully so, to protect themselves. Here's the thing. Infernicus toy, 2017 release, trademark was issued in late 2016. 3-year rule, sometimes 4-year rule. They have to redo the trademark. If they redo the trademark, they have to put out product. So here we go. We got a potential Quintessa, just based on the laws of trademarking, patents, and all that kind of groovy stuff. And this applies to the next one here, which is the big one for a lot of people. EarthRise Commander Class Skylynx. Now, the last time we got a Skylynx toy, again, Generations, we had the Combiner Wars, we had Skylynx 2016. 3-year rule, trademark, patent, bang, bang, bang. I thought this toy was pretty awesome to begin with. I mean, there was only so much, the fact that it was able to do the Skylynx thing and still also be the alt mode, and at the same time of all of that, still be able to do that Sky Rain combiner thing. I mean, I was pretty happy with the way the Skylynx that we got. But, of course, it didn't do the Sky and Lynx separation thing. So, I mean, I'm thinking that that's why we're getting this one now. It's kind of like everyone was pretty happy with that original Combiner Wars one, but I guess with that Commander price point, you could kind of infuse and go one step further and go, okay, how do we make this now perfect? In the same way that when Commander Class, Jetfire, Skyfire was announced, people were probably going like, wow. Like if you read that on paper, you go, well, I really liked, that old Generations Leader Class one. That did a pretty good job. And it did. But I mean, they then went one step further. So I think that we're probably going to get a 100% Sky and Lynx, amazing separation, perfect version. And of course, the combiner gimmick will now be absent because that never was in the lore originally. So something that'll just knock it out of the park. And I get a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of Voyager scale Skylynx from Combiner Wars showing up in the TFCon charity auction or on the chopping block of people's buy-sells in the future. Unless, of course, you really like the Sky Rain combiner thing. I mean, it was pretty cool, actually. I liked it personally. But yeah, so that's something that I could see more of a reality, again, because of the trademark. So I could kind of believe this all being real. And, I mean, these listings, they came up. They were up for a bit, and then they all got taken down. So that always tells me something. If it's fake, they leave it up. If it gets taken down right away, there's more than this than meets the eye, if you know what I mean. So, and these are individuals that in the past have listed stuff, and this stuff has been legit. So let me know what you think about this. Are you excited about a potential new Skylynx figure? What do you think they're going to do with the Quintessons, both of them in Quintessa, and the Quintesson itself? Is there going to be a transformation thing? Is Quintessa going to be some kind of planet transformed into female character? Is it going to be something more of an homage to the movie toy? It's going to be very interesting how they tackle that one, especially from a trademark standpoint. So let me know what you think. This is all cool stuff.